What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me once again for another one of Hoggie's beer reviews. And today I bring you a beer that I've been wanting to try and wanting to review for close to 2 years now. This is, before I get to the story, because there's a story behind this, before I get to it, here's the beer. A lot of you may know this one is called Hazed and Infused, a dry hops ale. Now, Hazed and Infused is from the Boulder Beer Company in Boulder, Colorado. I like them. I've had a couple of their other beers, and they're good. I had their Mojo IPA. I reviewed that on my website. That review's on beerbreath.com. Go check it out. That was sometime last year. The Mojo IPA is really good, but really grapefruity. I like it. If you're not a big fan of a grapefruity, hoppy beer, then it may not be for you, but still it was well made. I also reviewed here on YouTube their Void Empirical Stout. Had a bomber of that, and that was a really good stout. I like that. But this Hazed and Infused has been on my list for a long time because back in Miami at our old apartment, our neighborhood supermarket kept this and the Mojo always stocked. That supermarket, it was a Winn-Dixie, and surprisingly it had a really good, very small, but really good craft beer selection. So yeah, I never got around to it, and I picked this up yesterday. Yesterday was a crazy day, and actually I'll be honest with you guys, I'm kind of cheating you a little here, because I've always said that I want these reviews to be, beers I've never had before, so I can give you my honest, untainted first impression of a beer. I had this beer last night. I damn near chugged it because I was thirsty as hell. See, I picked up 2 of these yesterday. They were on sale. Apparently they're no longer making these in bombers, and I've never seen these in bombers before. I found this new place called Roy's Liquor Store in Fort Pierce. Got to talking to the dude there, Phil, and I had to walk out of there with something. I grabbed 2 of these. But later on that afternoon, I ended up having to walk, and I won't get into the reasons why, but I ended up walking about 2 or so miles against traffic on the side, on the shoulder, in the grass of I-95, through the tall grass and weeds and uneven terrain. So when I came home, I really wanted a beer. So I threw one of these in the freezer for about 15 minutes and then drank it really fast out of just a big-ass glass. I just needed something. So even though I had this beer, I didn't really savor it. I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I just drank the damn thing. So I had to bring you guys today the actual review of this beer at a nice cool temperature. Cold, really. And yeah. So anyways, Hazed and Infused. There's a whole lot of stuff to read on the side here. I'll just briefly see if I can skip through it. It says, what do you get when you blend 5 different American hops, loads of the finest quality caramel malt and roasted barley, and a team of crazy Colorado brewers? Blah, 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 blah. This hazy, unfiltered brew gets infused or dry hopped with over 250 pounds of hops in the fermenter. This massive secondary hop infusion adds big flavor and fresh floral aroma, making Haze a bold, unforgettably different choice. That's what they say. Okay, cool. I mean, that sounds good. And I've always wanted to try it because I've been hearing about it and seeing it for so long. Beer Advocate, on there, it gets a B+ out of 691 reviews. The Bros give it a B-, and it's categorized as an American Pale Ale at 4.85 ABV. So it's under 5%. It's an American Pale Ale. It's telling you that it's hoppy. Let's see what this thing is really about. Now, my thoughts were it was going to be much like a tame Mojo with a very grapefruity hop presence. But I realized last night that's not necessarily the case. And before I crack it open, this is a regular drinking glass. I drink water out of these things. These are dinner glasses for us. But since I just downed this thing last night, I've been wanting to use one of these just for the hell of it. I'm using this one today. Screw it. We can argue all day about proper glassware and the size and the shape and all that, but at the end of the day, a glass is a glass. It's still better than a bottle. So, enough talking. Let's drink. And let's see what's really going on with a beer that is hazed and infused. It's an orange amber color, and yes, it is hazy. There's also a lot of visible carbonation. Nice head though, almost an inch of head, very frothy. But you know, it is kind of dark. You hold it up to the light, it looks clear, but when you hold it to the side, it really does look like a rich, dark, malty kind of brew. Now the smell is of hops. There is some grapefruit in there. There's also some sweet hop, kind of like that pineapple, kiwi, mango kind of thing going on. And there's also a heavy dose of caramel underneath. The smell is very balanced. There's hops, it's earthy, but it's also sweet. But I mean, it is inviting, and you know, I had a nice long day at work today, so yeah. Cheers. It is malty. There is something, it's kind of an odd maltiness though. There's a flavor there that I can't necessarily place. There is a caramel aspect to it. There's almost a toasted malt aspect to it. But there's also something else, and I think it's how it plays off of the hop combination that I'm not going to say tastes bad, but I don't know, it's a little off-putting to me. You do get hop bitterness up front, but it's not that strong. And I must say, it does feel a little overly carbonated, just the slightest bit fizzy, more than I'd expect from something considered an American pale. And let's face it, guys, the holy grail of American pales is the Sierra Nevada pale. Everything gets held up to that and maybe Dale's, and this is way more fizzy than either one of those. Don't get me wrong, it's not a pop fizz adjunct lager, but there is a prickle from the carbonation. You notice it up front along with the hop bitterness. The hop bitterness is not very defined in flavor, just a bit of bitterness, bit of carbonation. It's a bit on the thin side, and then, you know, as you swallow it down, you do get the maltiness, that body, that slightly off-putting caramel, toasty malt flavor. And then in the finish you do get a bit of hop resin, hop oil resin. It seems almost, at times, not completely, but it seems almost watered down. It's kind of strange. Kind of hard to put my finger on exactly what it is. That there's something in the aftertaste. Again, it's not bad, and maybe try it yourself. Maybe it's an older bottle. I don't think Phil would have given me an old bottle. But looking for a fresh and state, not finding one. Whatever. It's not bad. It's just not that great a pale. I'll leave it at that. I can't pinpoint what I'm tasting here, but I noticed it last night. I just really wasn't paying attention. And it was a bit on the warm side. I didn't give it that much time to get cold. So I said, well, maybe it's just my state at the moment. Maybe it's the temperature. Maybe it's a lot of things. Let me do it again tomorrow, which is now. And I'm still not completely thrilled here. And this is a tough one because I don't want to give it a half empty, because it's not necessarily bad, but it's, you know what, I'll just say it's a very weak half full. It's not it's not a bad beer, but it's not that great. It's just, I'm at a loss, guys. I'm at a loss, but I'm not a fan. I don't think I'll be buying this again. I'll be buying the Mojo. I actually like that, but this, there's something in that malt combo there. Maybe it's something in the malt and hop combination that gives it this. I can't place it, man. I'm truly at a loss, and it's pissing me off, but I'm not thrilled. So I'll leave it at that. A weak half full. Hazed Infused from Boulder Beer. So far they're 2 out of 3. This is a miss. So try it for yourselves and let me know what you think. Take care, guys, and cheers.